Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zahra Nafisah Nur and today I will be talking about compare and contrast essay. What is compare and contrast essay? Comparison in writing discuss elements that are similar, while contrast in writing discuss elements that are different. A compare and contrast essay then analyzes two subjects by comparing them, contrasting them, or both. The key to a good compare and contrast essay is to choose two or more subjects that connect in a meaningful way. The purpose of compare or contrast in writing. The purpose of conducting the comparison of contrast is not to state the obvious, but rather to eliminate subtle difference or unexpected similarity. For example, if you want to focus on contrasting two subjects, you would not pick apples and orange. Rather, you might choose to compare the contrast to type of orange or to type of apple to highlight subtle difference. For example, red delicious apples are sweet, while Granny Smith are tart and acidic. Drawing distinction between elements in similar category will increase the audience understanding of the category, which is purpose of the compare and contrast essay. Similarly, to focus on comparison, choose two subjects that seem at first to be unrelated. For a comparison essay, you likely would not choose two apple or two orange because there are so many of the same properties already. Rather, you might try to compare how apples and orange are quite similar. The more divergent the two subjects initially seem, the more interesting a comparison essay will be. The structure of a compare or contrast essay. The compare and contrast essay start with a thesis that clearly states the two subjects that are to be compared, contrasted, or both, and the reason for doing so. The thesis could lean more toward comparing, contrasting, or both. Remember, the point of comparing and contrasting is to provide useful knowledge to the reader. You may organize compare and contrast essay in one of the following two ways. 1. According to the subject themselves, discussing one and the other. 2. According to individual point, discussing each subject in relation to each point. The organizational structure you choose depends on the nature of the public, your purpose, and your audience. Given that compare and contrast essay analyze the relationship between two subjects, it is helpful to have some base on that will be cue the reader to such analysis. Compare and contrast structure word. Compare and contrast structure words are transition signals which show the similarities or different. Here are some common examples. Compare. Similarly, likewise, also, both and, not only, but also, and etc. Contrast. However, in contrast, in comparison, by comparison, in other hand, and etc. Here are the examples of compare and contrast essay. Physical book versus ebook. Physical book and ebook have a lot of difference and similarity. A very clear difference that is from the practically to read. Physical books are more difficult to carry everywhere because some of them are large and heavy, while ebooks are easier to access by just opening our cell phone and anywhere and everywhere. Even so, some people still prefer physical book because we will focus more on reading. While if we reading from our ebooks, we can be disturbed by other application notification on our cell phone. Apart from the difference between the two books, they do have similarity too. Whether we want to read in ebook or physical book, the content of the book are 100% the same. They still have useful content and are to acknowledge that we will get. In conclusion, both physical books and ebooks have the same benefit, namely to add insight that we have. The difference is the choice of the reader to read through what? Printed book or ebook. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.